You know, in this world of endless names and forms, we've always been searching for the ultimate source, right? The very foundation of existence itself. Today, we're going deep on one of the most profound names for that reality, Allah. But here's the thing, this goes way beyond just a religious term. The real question we're getting into is much deeper. It's philosophical. What is the nature of the reality this word is actually pointing to? We're going to unpack the essence, the symbolism, and the meaning behind it all. All right, let's get into it.
So first things first, let's look at the word itself. Because believe it or not, the way it's built tells us a ton about the whole idea it represents.
So, Allah actually comes from the Arabic al-Ilah, which literally means the God. But over time, it became something much more. It wasn't just a title, it evolved to describe the one, singular reality, the absolute source of absolutely everything. And this is where it gets really fascinating. Think about it. The word God can be plural, gods, right? Or you can have goddess. But Allah, no plural, no gender. The word itself is designed to point to something that's totally unified, infinite, something you just can't break down or stick in a box. And that idea of being beyond form, it's absolutely central. This quote from the Quran isn't just some nice poetry. It's a fundamental teaching. It's saying, look, you can't capture the divine in a picture, a statue, or even in a thought. It's just beyond all of that. But then, and this is the beautiful paradox, at the same time it's completely beyond us, it's also described as being incredibly, profoundly close. Not some distant reality, but the very fabric of who we are. So how can these two things be true at the same time? How can something be totally formless, but also closer than our own breath? Well, there's a really powerful metaphor that helps make sense of it all. Okay, so let's unpack this metaphor. It's all about trying to grasp this idea of oneness, to make it feel a little less abstract and a little more real. All right, the core concept here has a name, Tawhid. It basically means absolute oneness. And the key thing to get is that this isn't about some creator who's separate from creation. No, it's the idea that everything, and I mean everything, every star, every one of us, every single thought, it all exists inside one single unified reality. And this is the perfect way to picture it. Imagine the divine reality is a vast ocean, okay? Now, all of creation, the galaxies, the planets, you, me, we're all like waves on that ocean. We look separate, right? We have our own unique form, our own motion. But are we really separate from the ocean? No way! We are and have always been made of that same water. We're just expressions of it. Which brings us to probably the most famous phrase in Islam. You've definitely heard it, but its meaning, well, it goes so much deeper than what you might think. So yeah, it's often translated as, there is no God but God, but the deeper, more mystical meaning is really an awakening to this oneness we've been talking about. It's this profound realization that there's no separate power, no reality outside of the one. There's no separate you or me. It's all the ocean of being. Okay, so you might be thinking, if this reality is so infinite and I can't even comprehend it, then how on earth can I connect with it? It's a great question, and the tradition has some really beautiful answers. One of those answers is found in what are known as the 99 names or attributes of the divine. And you shouldn't think of these as just simple labels. They're more like windows or maybe doorways. Each one gives us a little glimpse into a different facet of this infinite reality. And what do these names show us? They reveal a reality that isn't some distant, scary judge, but is the actual source of all compassion, all mercy, the ultimate truth, the light, the source of peace itself. So by thinking about these qualities, you start to connect with them, not just out there in the universe, but right here, inside yourself. And this isn't just some mental exercise, you know? It's an invitation to actually align yourself with these qualities. And that leads us to the real meaning of the word Islam itself, which is surrender. Now hold on, this isn't about surrendering in defeat. It's an active, powerful surrender built on trust. It's like a swimmer who stops fighting the current and just lets the ocean carry them. And here's the kicker. In that act of surrender, in letting go of the illusion that we're in total control, that's where the heart finds peace. And why? Well, the word for peace, salam, actually comes from the same root as Islam. So peace isn't just about things being quiet. Peace is understood as the very presence of the divine. All right, let's zoom out a bit. Let's look at how these ideas get really deep in the mystical traditions. You see, the Sufis, the mystics of Islam, they really ran with this idea of intimacy. For them, Allah wasn't some far-off God you just worship. No, Allah was the beloved, an intimate reality that you discover deep inside your own heart. And this led to some, well, let's just say some pretty bold and controversial statements for the time. When the mystic al-Hallaj, way back in the 9th century, declared Ana al-Haq, which means I am the truth, he wasn't being arrogant. It was the ultimate statement of that oneness, of Tawhid. It was like the single drop of water finally realizing, wait a minute, my essence is the ocean. And this really drives the point home. This whole concept of a single, formless, ultimate reality, it's not unique to one tradition. It's a universal human insight. You see it called Allah or Brahman in Hinduism or the Tao. Different paths, different names, but they're all pointing to the same mountaintop. Okay, so let's bring all this big cosmic stuff right back down to Earth, back to you right now. The teaching here is that this infinite reality isn't just some abstract philosophy. It's right here. When you take a breath, that very force that's animating you, that's it. That's an expression of the divine. And when you feel that deep, genuine love for someone else, that connection, that's not just a bunch of chemicals in your brain. That's a reflection of that divine compassion, ar-Rahman, flowing right through you. You know that feeling when you look up at a sky full of stars, or you see something so beautiful it just stops you in your tracks? That feeling of awe, of wonder. That's the divine whispering right to your soul, just reminding you of the incredible, mysterious reality that you're a part of. So the real takeaway here isn't just a bunch of facts. It's an invitation. To know this reality isn't about believing in a concept. It's about experiencing the infinite in every single moment. So the question isn't if it's there, it's where you're going to notice it next.